Now, they probably gonna cancel me again for saying this, but I don't care. A lot of women have wasted good years being loyal to the wrong man. Wasted good years being loyal. And everybody like to try to act like, as a woman, it's because you thirsty or you just wanted to believe this or you ignored all the red flags. No doubt about it. But it wasn't that you just ignored these red flags. It's that you gave him grace. It wasn't that you were stupid or foolish. It's that you were so busy being faithful, you weren't making all of this time and spending all this energy trying to see how he wasn't. That's not necessarily a mistake or a character flaw of yours, that he weaponized something and wasted what he could have benefited from. Like, he thought he was playing you the whole time. He played himself out of a woman that loved him for him. Like, we don't want to talk about that, though. We want to talk as if every single woman that gets played in a relationship really has something to do with it. She deserved it. Oh, you are what you attract. No, you're not. No, you're not. But what you continue to entertain says a lot about who you think you are. And this is where y'all also have to be willing to face the scrutiny of leaving a man who didn't do you no good. People on the outside don't know what you went through. They don't know what kind of torment. They don't know what kind of nights that you stayed up searching through a phone or, your mind just unable to settle down. They don't know. So don't let nobody else shame you into a situation that was destroying you. Again, I already know they're going to be mad at me for saying this, but I can fight. I don't care. There's a lot of women who wasted years they cannot get back dealing with somebody that should have turned around the moment that they saw. Like, you just wish that you could take back the time that you even spent getting to know this man, introducing yourself. It's a lot of good women out here. They ain't all making bad decisions. They ain't all going after the wrong kind of man and all this. No. We have to at some point acknowledge just how good a lot of manipulators have gotten these days. And it's funny to me because if you meet a man, especially the ones that try to, that whole sob story of, I can't trust nobody, I've been crossed so many times. Ain't it funny how they can acknowledge how they homies traded on them, betrayed them, snaked them? Like, their homies successfully got away with playing in their face or pretending to be something that they weren't. But when it comes to a woman, all of a sudden, you're supposed to have this infrared radar straight to a person's integrity from day one, no matter how much they've refined their act. Ain't it funny how that worked? As a woman, they love to blame you. You should have known, and you should have seen, and you should have. So why is it that you got betrayed? Why is it that man was able to steal from you? Why is it that man was able to hurt you or set you up? And why is it that you can get betrayed by a man and it never reflects poorly on your intelligence, your common sense, your self-worth? But when a woman is going through it the same way with these shiesty dudes, we love to blame them. Anybody else notice that? Put I down in the chat if you've ever noticed that. Put I down in the chat if you've ever noticed that. And this is why it's so important to know that a man has done the work to be able to stand in his truth. Like, he's evolved to the point where he accepts him for him. He's not out here addicted to the fruits of being fake. He'd much rather just be his true self and take what comes with that or what doesn't. He's disciplined enough to wait for what he deserves. If he's not there yet, he's going to acclimate. He's going to step up to the plate to get what he deserves, but he's not going to go and get ill-gotten fruits of work that he hasn't put in on himself. Like, it's so important to know that you're dealing with a man like that, an alpha male. This is so much better to get a man who's willing to tell you things, even when it's uncomfortable, because that's a man who's not just trying to get from you what he wants from you. That's the man who says, okay, I'm led by principle and I got to accept the truth and whatever comes with that. It's so important. But again, I don't want y'all to think, it's all about you should have known better and you should. Because honestly, a lot of y'all have not been taught as women. Y'all have not been taught how to properly identify a true alpha male. And by alpha male, I mean a healthy, masculine man. A man who's not, so hurt, he's just out here hurting others. A lot of y'all have not been taught how to identify that because you've been too busy trying to make sure you're good within yourself. Like, being a woman is a task on its own. Not to even mention all the roles you occupy in the workforce, as a mom and to a man that even deserves you. If he deserves you. A lot of y'all have not been taught how to stay on top of the games and separate, most importantly, those who are not playing those games from those who are. But that's fine because that's where I come in, and I've seen some other people. I've never seen anybody with something like my masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. But if you want access to it, again, it's free. Comment the word secrets, I'll send it to you. And you can now get the game so you can match up with a man who matches you in your values instead of a man who plays in your face and wastes years of your life. Comment the word secrets. I'll send you a link to get it. This will give you the strategies to not only discern the real from the fake, but to make those men who are real, alpha males, who are healthy, who come with good intentions, crave you. Because they're looking for good, growth-oriented women who know how to stand out in their authenticity. Just being a good woman ain't enough. I know y'all be thinking that, but honestly, men don't have intuition like y'all. We don't. Even the good men don't have intuition like y'all. So if you use the strategies like the other 11,000 women who have given me testimonials saying that it helped them find their alpha male, you're going to be straight. Comment word secrets or just click the link down there at the bottom. But back to what I was saying, because we need to have an honest conversation about the men who are playing in the faces of these good women and then blame them, hot, like throwing rocks, hot in their hand. One type of dude that'll do this is the potential padding man. He'll keep you investigating his blueprint. Meanwhile, he's never even broken ground on who it is he pretended to be. The type of guy who promises, a future where you can rely on him. And then he delivers a reality where you question if you ever even knew him. Somebody put facts down in the comments if you've ever been there before. If I'm speaking facts, you know this type of guy. Put facts down in the comments if you've ever been there before with this type of dude. Or tell me I'm lying if I'm completely off base. I want you guys to walk away from this more crystal clear than ever that you were not the problem. Because a dude like this, especially, like his talk can be very impressive about tomorrow, but his actions today never match up. They never match up. Like, say, for instance, he's temporarily underemployed right now, and his big break is just around the corner, and you support every dream of his for years while he barely even acknowledges yours. Don't leave that situation thinking that your loyalty was naivete. It was you being a good partner to somebody who was only pretending to be one for you. Don't leave this situation thinking, well, I should have had more self-esteem. I should have done better predicting the future. I should have known that he would eventually take his mask off. I should have no. No. You trusted from a place of projection of your good values, but sis, everybody ain't got the same heart as you. Everybody ain't got the same heart as you. And that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make, especially if you are an empath. You can get so tunnel vision on you becoming your best self that you assume everybody else is on the same path. Everybody else is on the same journey. When no, there are people out here who are supplementing the work that they should be doing on themselves by going and finding people who are doing the work on themselves and trying to bring them back to square one of who they outgrew. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm telling the truth, share this right now. We're about to break it all the way down. Share this right now. Somebody on your timeline gonna thank you. If you feel like I'm telling the truth. We're gonna expose some people today. That includes the intermittent reward man who keeps you addicted to moments of brilliance after months and months and months of desert, of neglect. Anybody know that type of guy, the intermittent reward man? It's his bare minimum. Every now and then feels like such a relief, or such a exhale, such a breath of fresh air. Because he finally gets it, and oh wow, what a good day. The whole time he's just unlowered your standards. So now whenever he gets to baseline, he does something he should have been doing a long time ago. It feels like, oh my gosh, this is great. Until you wake up one day and realize it was all a waste of time. Those random perfect days that kept you holding on through weeks and weeks and weeks of him barely noticing you, or his occasional burst of affection that got addictive, only because he had not ever been consistently decent to you. That's what I'm talking about. If you dealt with that kind of man, sis, the problem wasn't you. I'm going to just keep it real. Now that you know, like now that I'm telling you this, now that you have access to like my free masterclass, Secrets to attracting alpha males only. I put it down there in the comments, by the way. Or you comment the word secrets, I'll send it to you. But now you have access to it. Now that you know better, you can do better. Because this is the type of guy who's going to ignore your text for days. Then all of a sudden show up with your, favorite present or your favorite dinner, or, want to give you all of this undivided attention. Because he knows that those magical moments will keep you going through the emotional droughts. Don't let the world convince you that your loyalty was desperation. No, it was your brain on a psychological roller coaster that addiction researchers know is harder to quit than consistent happiness. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you've ever been through that, then you know what I'm saying is facts. Or how about this guy, the identity sculptor man, who gradually carves away pieces of you until it fits his idea out of your survival mode. Until you fitting into whatever little compartment he crafted for you as a means of your survival, that's the identity sculptor man. He will waste years of your life. You being loyal to him will waste years of your life. Cindy, you said, I wasted 14 years with a broken man. And unfortunately, those who are closest to the broken man end up getting broken first. Piece by piece, one by one. He'll chip away at the things that make you you. Each small change, it seems reasonable until one day you couldn't even recognize yourself because of all of the changes you were making. It was one-sided. Some of y'all know about this, but again, you don't have to deal with this. And it's very subtle when you're dealing with this kind of guy because, it'll start with little helpful suggestions about your clothes. And then it'll escalate to comments about your friends and how your laugh is too loud and how your opinions are too much. And each critique seems small, incidental, but the combined effect is a completely different you. That's what happens when you deal with a guy like this. But your loyalty to that man wasn't weakness. It's like how a frog in heating water that slowly heats up is unable to notice the danger until they're already transformed, until they're already done. Again, especially if you have not been operating like that, and therefore, this is so foreign to you, this is unfamiliar to you. Think about people who go from the suburbs to the hood or something like that. Y'all ever got those family members or had those friends? Like some of y'all, okay, I'm from a different type of situation, but those of y'all who can relate, y'all just ride with me in the comments. You ever had somebody come in from the suburbs and you stayed in the impoverished area and you had to hip them to the things not to do? Hip them to, hey, your chain don't need to be like that. Hey, why are you leaving your doors open? Well, hey, be careful about you just flaunting around this, that, and the other, going to the side of town. Because you've been around it, therefore you're more familiar and you know to protect yourself. But they have not been around. They're unfamiliar with that. So as a good woman, it's a little bit different. Because when you're dealing with people who are raised on survival mode and you are raised on love, you're like a girl from the suburbs going to somebody who internally is in the hood, where crime happens every day, every hour. You're not used to protecting yourself, safeguarding yourself in those type of situations. So it's not on you. It's just the unfamiliarity. But again, you don't have to remain unfamiliar. You don't have to remain unfamiliar. You don't have to become like them, but you don't have to remain naive. You just need, one, the proper competence on how to recognize these types of men. And then two, the strategies to navigate towards the right ones for you, the alpha males. Therefore, navigating automatically away from these broken men who only come to break you. In which, again, I'm leaving nobody an excuse. If you right here, right now, listening to me, you have no excuse because I made it free. I broke this down for free in Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only Masterclass. I made it free. Comment secrets. I'll send it to you. Free. But there's another one. And I'll talk more in depth about it on the masterclass, but I got to talk about this one. The man that moves the goalposts will waste years of your life leveraging your loyalty. What I mean by that is the moving goalpost man, he's always going to try to ensure that your worthiness is just one achievement away, one correction away, one approval of his away. So the finish line is going to keep moving every time you get close to it. Every time he asks you for something and you do that thing, it's off by just a little bit. Oh, it's almost like that. Oh, but why'd you do it like this? That's what I'm talking about. His approval is always just a little out of reach. No matter how fast you run or how far you stretch out to reach for it. Like, this is the type of guy that wastes years of your time talking about how he's so ready for commitment right after he gets this promotion. Then it'll be, oh, after I buy a house. Then it'll be, well, after we fix these trust issues we got. You got trust issues that he created. The trust issues he created. Your loyalty wasn't foolishness in dealing with that man. It was your determination in a rigged game designed to keep you running in circles while he kept all the power. Don't think that you were dumb. Don't think that you were stupid. Don't think that you had low self-esteem. Don't think that you were thirsty. Don't think none of that. No. The game was rigged from the beginning. There's so many more dudes like that. So many more. The man who will compare you to other women to ensure that, you always comply because you don't want to be like them. Maybe he'll mention how his ex was so fit or how his coworker is so understanding or easygoing, or he'll train you to see yourself as lucky to have him despite his constant reminders of your flaws. I know this kind of guy is even hard to want after a while, but again, it's very incidental. Little things. Sarah at work, she always pack her husband lunch after you made him breakfast. My ex never questioned me when I stayed out late. I just never been through that. I know that you've been loyal to this type of guy before. And again, I know you had years wasted. And I know you probably beat yourself up thinking if only you had been smarter or stronger or no. But your loyalty wasn't an insecurity. It was your normal response to being constantly reminded that your position in his life was both privileged and under threat. That is very normal, again, if you are unfamiliar with this type of person, with this type of environment. Foebi says, I'm always wrong and not good enough. It's always, if you had just changed. A lot of times these guys be projecting that. I can't say your name, but I call you Foe. A lot of guys project that because in their childhood, they were always made to feel like they were one achievement away, one correction away, one comparison of meeting up to this comparative standard away from being approved of. And then they get older and they operate from that place. But his unresolved, unhealed childhood trauma is not your responsibility. You're not a rehab center for broken men. Because they're only going to break you. But you'll spend years thinking if you just try a little harder, stay a little longer, things are going to change the whole time. No, he should have put in a little bit more work to have a little bit more character before he even came along. That was his doing, not yours. That was his doing. And guys can be so convincing, like the veneer man. The outside veneer man, should I say, who maintains this public image. So convincing, it'll make you doubt your private reality. And everybody else, they just see the charming, attentive partner. Meanwhile, you live with the cold, controlling side. And how much he had them convinced made you feel like maybe you're imagining things. So even your friends, his friends, y'all family think he's just the perfect boyfriend and they all love him Everybody praises his character. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, you walked on eggshells around his anger and his dismissal. When you leave a man like that, it can feel like you should have known from the very beginning. But no, your loyalty, it wasn't a delusion of sorts. It was a natural confusion that happens when everybody else tells you you're lucky, while you feel desperately alone, isolated. And again, back to what I was saying in the very beginning, this is why it's so important to establish that this man is living in his truth and he's willing to accept those who don't like it. He has disciplined himself in a way, and I talked about this in the masterclass, where you can kind of identify these green flags that a man is an alpha male. You'll see that he can discipline himself even from things that he wants, if it's not aligned with him getting it by way of being in his truth. He wants this. He wants that. I mean, people think alpha males are just these perfect guys and they're just Jesus Jr. No. But you'll see certain foundational principles that set them apart if you know what to look for. And if you don't know what to look for, you don't have to be ignorant to that. I literally gave it away, but I broke it down. I made it simple as possible, but it took about an hour in that masterclass to truly break down the strategies, the secrets to making alpha males crave you. So if you want those secrets, comment the word secrets. I'll send it to you. Or just click the link that you see pinned down there in the bottom and the link will come to your email. But I want you to understand something, because a lot of y'all get so mad at the fact you were loyal and that you were open and that you were trusting and loving. And that wasn't the problem. That wasn't a mistake. It was your light shining in a room too dark to reflect it back to you. Even if it feels like those years are just wasted, because I know they weren't used the way you needed them to. They were also the price you paid for wisdom that theory alone could never teach you. Therefore, you never have to learn that lesson again. So sure, you stayed, but it wasn't because you was weak. It was because you were loyal. It was a strength that just was used on the wrong person. So even though, yes, you may have wasted years with this man, understand you also invested years discovering exactly what you won't compromise on again. So that loyalty of yours, that wasn't your failure. It was your superpower used on somebody who didn't deserve its strength. Don't let nobody shame you for what you proved to be your capacity to commit. It's still your greatest gift, especially these days where people don't even care about family and commitment and marriage. They don't even care about that no more. But the problem was never that, how much you could love. The problem was how little that man that you love could appreciate it. And that's facts. Now, if you agree with what I just said, hit the share button so we can get more like-minded individuals in on this conversation, because there's so many people spreading BS that's got a lot of women continuing to get wounded by these type of time-wasting dudes, and a lot of these dudes getting away with it. I can't do it by myself. So if you agree with anything I said, or you found it to be facts, you found it to be true, I just need somebody bold enough to spread the truth. Find that little arrow down here, hit the share button. I'm your internet big bro. You know I got your back. Hopefully this was of value to you in some kind of way. And if you want more like this for free, that link down here in the comments I pinned is going to bless you. It'll give you access to my free masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only, right here, down here in the comments. Click that link. It'll send you a link to your email so you can watch the masterclass where I break down exactly how you can attract an alpha male where you don't have to deal with this nonsense. Or comment the word secrets, and I'll just send the link to you. But y'all be good. Peace.